As I don't speak Filipino, I think watching it more than once is very important, because when you're watching the subtitles, you kind of lose focus on the whole message. If I'm reading the subtitles, of course I can't see the expressions and emotions on the face of the actors playing the part in the movie. I believe that this movie is so important for so many reasons. Firstly, it enables like-minded supporters to connect together. And as the more I watch this movie, the more I understand the message behind it. But not only that, it really resonates with me in such an emotional way. I cried again, this is the fourth time that I watched a movie. And again, this movie made me cry. Tears of sadness, tears of happiness. Because this is the true story that's being told. Nobody can dispute the unique perspective of the Marcos family, and particularly Senator Amy Marcos. She was there at the time. This is called Maid in Malacañang. I'm not going to reveal the plot to those who haven't watched the story, but clearly there are some maids involved in this story as well, which most people know now. And to understand from their perspective what really happened. And I think, again, this is such an important movie because it resonates with OFWs, it resonates with those Filipino workers around the world. We mustn't forget we have 11 million OFWs around the world. Their sacrifice is really recognized within this movie. Household helps around the world, particularly in the Middle East, we have so many of these household helps or domestic workers. And I have to say, many of them don't get treated very well either, so life can be pretty tough. Some of them don't see their families for years on end. And I have to say, there are still some domestic workers who don't get treated very well, not like the Marcos family, where all the domestic helpers and all their support workers were treated as members of the family. We hear stories in the Middle East where OFWs or so-called domestic helpers still go through such a difficult time. And I think this movie is so important because it brings people together. When I see people's emotions, when I see people's happiness, it makes me feel good too. People are relieved, people are happy, people are thankful. But this is a movie now which is pretty much going to go around the world. So the world is going to know exactly what happened during the Marcos era, and the world is going to understand from the stories of people who were actually there at the time. People were even calling to boycott this movie. That's absolutely ridiculous, because this is the personal viewpoint. This is the personal witnesses from those who were there at the time. I'm not going to reveal the plot at all. I'm not going to speak about the intricacies of the movie. But what I'm going to say is this, I've sacrificed some time over the last few weeks. Most of my weekends have been taken up by this movie. But, I'm incredibly grateful to Director Yap. Maraming salamat po, sir, for everything you've done, for bringing this story out. To Senator Amy Marcos, thank you so much. Some of these movie parts touched my heart. To Christine Reyes, who I had the absolute honor of meeting over a decade ago. To see you in this movie, and some people will be commenting on your performance, and some people will be saying things about all of the actors in this movie. But I have to say, I can see you've given so much passion, given so much energy to such an important story, and I'm most grateful. And I can tell you now, as well as having watched this movie 4 times, I'll be watching it again and again. I'll be sacrificing even more of my time. But in fact, it's not a sacrifice, it's an honor, it's a privilege to meet so many like-minded people. And I'm very, very thankful. And to even parts of Europe. Your work in helping to bring this movie is really much appreciated. It takes a lot of effort, you know, to get these cinemas, to negotiate with them. So much work goes on behind the scenes. And to everyone who's supporting this movie, to all of these sponsors, to all of the people who are screening this film around the UK and Europe, you know, well done, congratulations. Please go and watch Maid in Malacañang. You know, it's such an important movie. I really think if you don't watch this, you know, you're going to miss out. Yes, I accept that it's not free to watch and it costs £40 or £30, £35 whatsoever. But if you hire a cinema to the thousands of pounds it costs to hire a cinema, people have to understand it's only right if you share that cost out. Maraming salamat po, and of course to my dear friend Robin, you know, you make me cry every time. It's really crazy. And I'm not going to reveal the plot. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the movie. But, you know, to all of you, please go and watch this incredible movie. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay Pilipinas.
Di ba tayo nasanay? 7 assassination attempts. Isang dosay ng kudeta. Anong pinagkaiba nito?
Kanina pa lang 6:30 ng umaga, may sinasabi na yung babae sa radyo na wala na raw yung mga Marcos. Sino itong mga kasama natin dito? Aparisyon?
Bongbong!
Dad!
Bakit ganyan pa rin ang damit mo? Anong gusto mong palabasin?
Dad, pinasabugan na po nila tayo.
My order is to disperse the crowd all the time, Mr. President, without shooting them. No.
So, ang gusto mo, pasabugan din natin sila.
Pugat to ng mga ahas! Dilingkis na nila tayo! Maghihintay na lang sila ng kung kailan yung tamang oras para lagutin yung hininga natin!
Anong alam mo sa pagkapanalo? Anong alam mo sa katapatan? Gayong, palagi kang nagpa-party, palagi kang wala, palagi kang nasa club!
Walang mamamatay dito. Hindi ko kayo iiwan ni Daddy. Bibit-bitin ko kayo sa ayaw niyo at sa gusto. Kung hindi tayo lalaban, kailangan naman maging ligtas tayo.
Pinalibutan na nila itong Malacañang. Hindi na maintindihan kung sinong pwedeng pagkatiwalaan dito sa palasyo.
We are finally free and we can be truly proud of the unprecedented way we achieved our freedom in peace.
Get them out of the Philippines.
Hindi na tayo makakabalik.
Makakabalik tayo. Makakabalik tayo.